All right, we are live and in the building once again. I hope everybody's having a beautiful Sunday. Um, how Hank doing? I'm surviving. For any of you guys that are familiar with Kanye West references, but and I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the title up, but one of my favorite sayings is "Sic vis pacem parabellum." And what that means is if you want peace, you must prepare for war. And I'm trying to get some peace in my life, guys. I'm trying to get some peace in my life. And unfortunately, I got to prepare for war. And that's just what life is about. I guess there's no free lunches out here, I guess is another common saying that I hear. There's no free lunches. Anyways, we'll get right into it. Does Trinone cream work against discoloration? The short answer is I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. So Joey says, "How you doing, bro? Feeling any better?" Nah, man. No, I'm not. No, things are bad. Things are bad. Things are very bad. Oh my gosh, things are so bad, for no fucking reason, man. Well, I won't say for no reason, but anyways, it's life. It's life. You can't always control what happens to you, and that's just what it is. It is what it is sometimes, man. And bottom line is, whatever happens in your life, you got to learn from your mistakes. You know. But I appreciate you asking, man. Thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing very well. And this is Swear Jar Sundays, I think I've already dropped at least one F bomb, and so that'll be $25 towards the charity that you guys tell me to donate towards. And so we have a bunch of people in here, man. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I would appreciate it. MK says, "I'm trying to spend money on you, but I don't know what to buy." I appreciate you, bro. Um, I'm not sure what you're actually looking for. So it says all the supplements for growing the cucumber safely. Um, Once again, let's see. Mez, exactly, bro. That's it. That's exactly it. These these are definitely some first world problems that I'm having. Sorry, I'm gonna get back to your question, MK, in just a second. But ultimately, my family is healthy. My family is safe. My brother is recovering his health, that's why I can still keep smiling and keep laughing, because I know that that's more than a lot of people have, and I'm very grateful for the life I live. But just to be clear, man, the supplements, like, do not, like, I'm not gonna tell you that they're gonna increase the rate of growth or anything like that. And you said supplements for growing the cucumber safely, and so safety is the key. But I just wanna be very clear that I do think you can do it safely without the supplements. I don't want you to feel like if you if you don't buy my supplements, oh, your pee-pee's gonna shrivel up and break off and die. Like, no, there's real science behind the supplements. I certainly think they keep it healthy. Yeah. So like, but if you're talking about what do I think are the supplements that are going to keep you safe, it's the safety stack, okay, which is going to be the vigor for the endothelial protection, the safeguard, for protecting the tunica, okay? The actual, like, sheath of the penis, and help minimizing the signals that cause fibrosis, which can lead to basically a non-functioning PP. And then, of course, our shield, which protects, against it helps protects the nerve and any potential damage that might be occurring. And so, like, if I had to say, like, that's what I would recommend. But, like, if you were saying, what's the one thing that you would think is the most bang for the buck? I personally think it's the vigor for sure, and that's what I've said before. Yeah, man. Intimacy Nutrition Doc, what's up, my guy? Uh, so MK Big Brain says, "Do you use holistic herbs at all?" Like, yeah, bro. I mean, that's like, I mean, I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but, like, all like, for example, like, Red Panax ginseng, to me, that's a holistic herb. It's in our Fortitude formula because of, like, the proven clinical ingredients. So yeah. So, Straight Fresh says, 33, "I have told you these things, so that in me you have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but, take heart. I have overcome the world. May, this bring you hope in your time of trouble, Hink." I appreciate you, Straight Fresh. Thank you, bro. Um, and, hey, my guy Joey's back. He didn't abandon me and unsubscribe after I kirked out on him last time. So, yeah, so he says, Joey says, "I'm 25, and the last 2 years have made me realize it's hard being a man, still trying to learn how to be a man, just a journey, but I feel like I'm doing well." Yeah, bro. I mean, like, guys, like, life is wild, man. Life is wild, and, I don't know, there's been certain things in my life that, are, like, better than I could have ever imagined, but there's also things in my life right now that, like, I would have never in a million years thought I would be in a position that I'm in. But yet, here we are, and so, yeah, man, and NMC Nutrition's doc says, "Aren't all herbs holistic? They come from a natural plant." So, yeah, bro, that's kinda what I was saying, yeah, that's kinda what I was saying too. So, Virgil Bell, that looks like a fancy username. I'm not sure what that's about, but he says, "Hello, thank you for your contributions into penile science. I had a lot of misconceptions about PE until I learned information, from you." So, I appreciate that, man, and thank you for tuning in. So yeah, man. Oof. So Greek says, "What are the solutions on frenulum breve?" I don't know what that means, man. Breve, Breeve. Am I just pronouncing that wrong? Just want to hear some advice. I'm not sure what that means, man. Jerry says, "Yo, Hink, good morning." Good morning, bro. I'm not sure what part of the world you are. Uh, but yeah, good morning, my guy. He said, it's afternoon where I am here in America. He says, "Thanks for all the content and motivated. I got back into biking in the gym as well as started pumping and stretching regularly." Man, I certainly love the front half of that. So, getting into biking in the gym is crucial, man. The only thing to be careful with is, yeah, well, so biking actually, guys, there's been studies that actually show that biking can actually reduce the flow of the artery, that, like, actually goes into the penis, and it can put pressure on some of the pudendal nerves and other, like, nerves at the base of the penis, and so yeah, just be careful with that. Um, but I mean, that being said, I've actually transitioned more to Stairmaster, than, I've transitioned more to Stairmaster than to, biking, but I actually have been mountain biking a lot here recently, and, as long as you just have, like, ideally a pad, or they make little seats where the seat has, like, a center open, so when you sit down, it takes the pressure off where that nerve comes through. You should be good, man. Uh, yeah, so Joey says, "America with the flag." So biking is now officially banned. No, biking is a great source of, exercise. You just gotta really do it safely. Like, there's literally documented papers that show that even, like, these extreme cyclists have higher rates of erectile dysfunction, and so, you just gotta be careful with that, man. Joey, any update on the new subs? Not right now, man. Not right now. All I can say is, just stay tuned. Uh, yeah. And Intimacy Nutrition Doc said, "I gave up on biking a decade ago. Didn't want to risk nerve damage, blood flow, or prostate damage." And so, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Actually, one of my friends actually had now this was an older guy. He's in his early 60s, but he actually came to me completely freaked out because he thought he had a prostate nodule. And turns out it was actually like a benign nodule that he had developed in his like prostate area from biking. So I think it's okay, man. Like I don't want you guys to be like if you enjoy biking, it's a good sense of cardio for it. For you, like I said, I bike. I think there's ways you need to do. You can do it safely. You just need to be careful. But guys, like there's also data, just so you know, that sitting at a desk for like 8 hours a day can also lead to erectile issues. So yeah, so just be careful and so yeah. um so Virgil says, if you can answer me a question, please, how do you do manual stretches? Because I heard from others to just stretch it down for 30 seconds, and other people prefer to stretch for 30 seconds and then rest for a bit. um my god, you dinklage Morgan is in the house. uh yeah, man. So what's up, Jadink? So duh, 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 duh. Yeah, so I think with manual stretches, you just need to make sure you stretch gently, and you need to just know that there's a lot of room for error. And so, typically, what I recommend, which I'm a clown in a mask, okay, guys, this is not medical advice, neither are any of my videos, is da, 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 da. So, I usually have like one hand at the base of my peepee and one hand just below my glands, and I try to put the pressure along the shaft of my peepee. And typically, I think just pulling straight down is all you need to do. And I think ideally, a total time, if you're trying to maximize gains, would be around 30 minutes. Um, so, so yeah, stay tuned for that. I don't know why I said stay tuned for that. Thaddeus says, "Hey Hink, what's up, man? Hope all is well for you and business is good." um, if you went to bed 1 to 2 hours late, would you get the extra sleep the next morning or still get up early to pump? Um, that depends, man. Like, I personally might try to split the difference, and it depends on how dedicated you are. You don't want things to turn into bad habits, and so, like, what does this say? What is it saying? If you if something happens once, it's an accident. If something happens twice, it's the formation of a new habit. And so, like, if you are consistently running to bed, going to bed late, and then consistently not waking up to pump, thank you, MK Big Brain, then, then yeah, then that's not a good thing as well. So, but um, I would probably split the difference, go to bed 1 hour late and then but still, like, wake up on time and maybe try to take a nap or go to bed early the next day. So, yeah. So, so Yanil Mez says, unpopular opinion, bath make is freaking goated. Air pumping is lame as F compared to that. What do you say, Hink? I say, bro, like, whatever works for you. Like, and I've said this before, guys. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like Bathmate doesn't work, and I'm not going to say like it does. It works. The problems with Bathmate, which I said on the last stream, is that you don't know what pressure you're pumping with, and depending on what model you have, you're at risk of danger because of where it presses into your pelvis and the fact that you have to jam a device into your pelvis. Um, but like, bro, if it works for you, man, that's awesome. Personally, I think it's lame that the bathmate has to be done with water and you have to like basically get naked, get into the shower, like fill it up, put it on. If you don't get a good seal, you have to like take it off, like flip the little thing, fill it back up with water, put it back on. It's like it's just it's a hassle. It's a hassle. And for me, where time is very time is very important, I can't just like in the time it would take me to even just, like, get into the shower and get set up, like, I would almost be done my pumping routine. So, like, I think that that is lame, but, like, it's fine, whatever works better for you, man. So, I'm glad that you enjoy it, but, like, I don't know if you're trying to get a spicy take out of me today, but especially in my current state right now, I'm more inclined to, like, spontaneously start sobbing on here. Than to give you guys like a hot take right now. So yeah, man. Um, yeah, so we got a super chat, man. What do you do between breaks while pumping? So thank you for the super chat, more Jimmy. Um, Personally, what I do is, like, if I'm really trying to maximize my routine is, I would, and thank you for all you guys that hit the like button. I know Red Maroon is in the house. What's up, my guy? And he just said, "Hey guys, hit the like button for me" not too long ago, and many of you guys did. So if you don't mind, take a second to do that. So um, yeah, so yeah, I try to do some sort of stimulation, if you know what I mean. Not only does that like massage, it helps to re-demonstrate blood flow, but I do think going into the pump as hard as you can, like once you build up to that, and once you can tolerate that, leads to the best outcomes. And so yeah, so there's that. And see, like, and this is funny, man. I literally just said you're more likely to get a like a spontaneous sob out of me than a hot take, but like even reading the second part of that question, it has nothing to do with you more Jimmy, but, like, it's making me wanna fucking, like, go off on some of the stuff that's out here in the PE ether, and so I'm still gonna try to maintain composure because, I don't know, where am I so I think, Red, you're in here. I don't know if I have any other mods in here, but if you can, help me keep track. It's Swear Jar Sundays, guys, and so for those of you that don't know, it means for every cuss word that I say, I'm gonna donate $25 to the charity that you guys recommend. First charity I did was for a mental health um, fund. Second charity I did was for actually men's testicular cancer. I think it was 150 for the men's health, and then 125 I did for the testicular cancer. And so it's going to be basically we'll do 25 a curse word and 50 an f bomb. So it keeps me honest because I curse too much. It's not a good look on a Sunday either. And if I say GD on a Sunday, that's gonna be 100. So yeah, guys, keep me honest here. Keep a tally for me. Um, so do you think that short high pressure interval pumping is better than longer 5-minute sets? So you guys get a sneak peek because there is so in this PE space, there's a lot of different opinions. And then there's this thing called oh God, what is it called? Science. There's things called objective effing medical facts that some people don't understand. You guys can hear it. You can hear. I'm sure you guys, some of you guys are like, oh yes, the dark side is coming out of pink. I am a Sith, man. I'm definitely a Sith. Definitely a Sith. No, I mean I'm not really, but sometimes I like to use my hatred and my anger as fuel. And actually that's what I've done my whole life. But the point is that, I actually think, and there's evidence, scientific evidence coming out that intervals are worse for you than standard sets. And so I'm gonna be making a video, and I already have most of the script written where I explain that further. And so I think longer 5-minute sets are better, personally, and I will explain in the future. Fucking cocksuckers, man. Whatever. So yeah, man. Hopefully that answers your question. Appreciate the super chat. Enemies Nutrition Doc says, "I don't want any more girth." Well, technically, my wife doesn't. Ah, good for you, bro. You know, slap hands, slap hands. uh, but doesn't mean I'm going to try extending next month. Less his risk of hemosiderin staining, right, Hank? Yeah, for sure, man. You should not be at risk of any kind of hemosiderin staining with any kind of length work. And so, yeah, so definitely, like, girth work, especially, like, pumping and clamping, obviously, are the highest risk, man, so, yeah, that should be good, but good for you. Let me know how the extending goes. So, Norwin says, "Hey, Hink, I've been following your course for 3 months now. I appreciate you, bro. 4 days ago, I noticed a weird discomfort and stopped all PE. I now feel well, and there's no discomfort anymore. How long should one rest?" My general rule is if I ever feel anything weird, I take a break until it goes away, and then I wait an additional week, okay, and make sure that everything is good, and then um, I very slowly reintroduce at about half the speed of the other one. of what I was doing before, and I'm not sure what you did before, but you either wanna avoid it or do it with less pressure or less time or less, whatever, in order to overcome the injury and prevent it again. Um, let's see. Tate speech, that's hilarious, man. He says, "I had a varicocele surgery 13 years ago and never had an issue since. I just started, um, about 2 months ago with PE, and it feels okay. Just wanted to know, is it okay for me to do PE?" That's one of those things, man, you gotta talk to your doctor about, like, if the is it the problem? Yeah, one of the problems with pumping is that, like, when you hopefully I can say this. So let's just say that on this is your PP here, and on either side of your PP, you have literally what we call your spermatic cord on either side. So when you put a pump in place here, like your pump is in place here and it keeps pressure on either spermatic cord. So in your spermatic cord is like your vas deferens, your vein, your artery, the lymphatic channels. And by putting that pressure on that area, you could obstruct flow and you could potentially put yourself at risk of a varicocele. And that's why I advise guys, especially through my course. It's one of the things, yeah, guys, I'm doing a quick plug on my course, but, like, one of the things that you need to do before you get started is do a thorough inventory of your entire, like, penis and testicular anatomy, because, like, some people never check their testicles and then randomly feel something weird, and then like, "Was this here or was it not before?" Like, "Do I have a hydrocele? Do I have a varicocele? Do I not?" I think as long as you do a thorough inventory, you talk to your doctor, not some clown in a mask cosplaying as somebody that knows anything about medicine, and, then, um then you should be fine, but it also depends on what you do, like, I would probably advise you not to pump, if you're really worried about a varicocele and consider something like a clamp, which isn't going to have that same pressure on the spermatic cord. Length work, you should be fine with. It's really the biggest risk for you, I think, is really pumping, in what do they say? In IMHO, in my humble opinion. So, Red says we're at curse count too, so yeah, keep me posted, man. Mac, my guy, boobs. Boobs. Oh, man. Guys, like, is there anything better than, like, a nice pair of big naturals? Like, am I right? Like, I don't know, man. Let's say I'm curious. I'm curious what you guys think. Let's see. Let's see. Big naturals or bubble butt. Add option results. What do you guys, for all my straight bros out here, what do you guys like better? And so for big naturals, I mean like Sydney Sweeney, like Sweeney, is that her name? Yeah. So like, and if you had to pick guys, I know both would be ideal. Um but man, I would have to say a poll is live, guys. Um I would have to say, hot take here. I would rather take a chick with like almost completely flat chest and a nice butt over like a chick with huge like big naturals. But yeah. So speaking of, my guy Compo says, Hink, you're a peculiar guy, but you're a nice guy. I think that's basically that would be on my tombstone, like odd, very odd, but nice. So sorry for the morbid reference, but yeah, man. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Uh, Big Brain says, "When's your birthday?" Valentine's Day, February 14th. Um, so, um, yeah. Gerald, appreciate the super chat, my guy. Appreciate you, Mac. Man, right now, guys, it's 50-50 in who we like better between the bubble butt or or the big naturals. Man, this is, that's very interesting, actually. Oh my gosh. So I found out he says or hi, I found out I have an inguinal hernia. Could it be related to stretching with hanger? So guys, like, and I've talked about this before. When Sean, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you being here, Sean Michael. I love you personally, bro, Sean Michael. I'm glad you're here in the live stream, and I love you. Um, so as well as all you other guys in here too. I just yeah. Anyways, so when you have an inguinal hernia, guys, all right. We all in utero basically start as a female, okay? In the sense that you have your basically your ovaries come up in your stomach, and that as your testosterone and your Y chromosome starts to kick in, because only men have penises and only women have female reproductive organs. But in my humble opinion, but as the testicles start descending down, they pass through something that's called the processus vaginalis, which is like basically a canal in your inguinal area, in your groin area, where it passes through and it's supposed to close behind it. And that's what descends in your ovaries, then descend into your fused labia. Okay. And that's what makes your scrotum, and your testicles are your ovaries. And so as sometimes what happens with men is that processus vaginalis isn't as closed as it should be, and so it's patent is what it's called. There's sometimes high pressure, coughing, sneezing. Personally, and this is going to sound obnoxious as hell, but like when I was in college, I was doing one-handed push-ups, and I that's called a Valsalva maneuver, but it increased my internal pressure to the point where it forced a little loop of bowel down through that processus vaginalis into my scrotum, which is an inguinal hernia. Okay, typically speaking, you have to have some pressure that is going to force that processus vaginalis to open back up in order to get an inguinal hernia. And so, like by hanging, like hanging weight off the end of your pee, that is stress on your actual pee. That is not stress on the processus vaginalis. It's not increasing your inter-abdominal pressure. You're not doing a Valsalva maneuver. And so, personally, I don't know how that is going to contribute to a hernia just by hanging. Um, so, um, so yeah, I don't think so. I think what's likely is you could just be deconditioned. Maybe you're not athletic, and maybe you're older, and for all you know, you had a bad coughing spell. And like I need to act out a coughing spell, and you force the little bit of intestine down. So, guys, I don't know if you realize this, but when you see historically doctors' exams, and it looks like they grab their testicles, grab a boy's, I mean, if it's a physical exam, testicles, and say cough, turn your head and cough. Um, what that is, that cough is forcing the pressure down, and it's trying to test to see if there's a hernia. So that's what that test is. So there's some free medical advice from all my days cosplaying. Um, But that's a very long-winded, and pontificatory, if that's even a word, explanation for no. I don't think that you are having, an inguinal hernia from, yeah, hanging. There we go. So was that a, stretching with hanger? So no. Okay, and it was a super chat, so now I don't feel as bad about that. Uh Dinklage says peculiar and nice. So yeah. Oh man, that's pretty much my uh so let's see. Duke Fresh. So if you look down beside the chat bar, like it'll be like chat, then a smiley face, and then right beside that there should be a super chat thing or a little money sign on what looks like a dollar bill. Depending on your country, you might not have super chat access on these live streams, and so I appreciate that. I'll do my best to answer your question anyways. If you just want to type it in there, I'll do what I can. Woo! Um, Petio says, "Hello, doc. I want to inject micro fat under my eyes to remove dark circles. Is there a problem?" Bro, there's a lot of things that I know a decent amount about. I mean, I can give a reasonable response. That sounds absolutely insane to me. Um, That sounds insane. The other thing about injecting fat, guys, and that's why I would never recommend anybody do a fat transfer into their penis as a girth enhancement, um, you can literally sometimes inject into a vessel and get what's called a fat embolism, where the fat that you inject goes into a vessel, travels to your heart, blocks the arteries in your heart, and you die. So I think the risk of that injecting into this area is low. Yeah, that sounds intense. I don't know, man. Talk to a plastic surgeon or a cosmetic. I don't know about that. Yeah. Phew. So Sean says, "What's a good beginner pumping routine to avoid petechia?" Um, so blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, start with very small amounts of pressure and set time. And so start with just doing like going in flaccid and just like maxing out at very low pressures and just gradually increase the pressure. Haha, Gerald. Uh, says, "Thanks, Hink. I think I just hurt it changing a wheel bearing." Yeah, hernia, dude. So yeah, I'm sure you were like, like really bearing down, trying to get it, and then that forced it out. So yeah, so Damien, I appreciate that, man. He says, "I love the mini doctor lessons." Much thanks. So thanks, man. I do a lot of time, and I think my boy Jadinklage up here. He says, "Do you cosplay or do you LARP?" That begs a very interesting. I guess this would technically be like if you guys are technically coming to me for some pseudo medical advice, this would be live action role playing, and so this is me LARPing right here, and so yeah, I guess it's more appropriate it would be to, LARP. So, yeah, so Duke Fresh says, "Ah, that explains I live in the butt crack of Europe, likely unavailable. I just wanna support my boy. I'm probably just gonna buy, your subscription and ask it there. Glad to be here." For sure, bro. I mean, like, I love you guys. I love the support that you guys have, given to me throughout my like, honestly, my existence, guys, and, I probably give too much of my personal information out. I have a great family, and my parents. I was blessed enough to live in a dual parent household. Both my parents have demonstrated nothing but unconditional love for me. Um, but I do think that, even if you were to ask my dad, like and I've actually talked with Red Maroon about this because I know he's been through similar, but, like, if you were to ask my dad, like, could he like, I bet you he would say there are some things that he wished he could run back and do differently, and that's life. But I'm not gonna lie, I have never had, very good self-esteem, and a lot of it stems from actually, interactions with my dad, and so, like, it still kinda blows my mind that you guys and I maybe you believe me or maybe you think this is just me, I don't know, whatever, but, like, it literally blows my mind, that you guys are especially so supportive of me just because, like, I don't feel like I have that, like, "Oh, man," like, "I'm Hink, I'm the shit." Like, I'm like, "Oh, man, this is wild. There's 109 people in here right now listening to me, and most of them are being very kind and encouraging and being like, 'I just wanna support you,' and that's wild to me, man." So, I appreciate that, man. I personally think I'm always gonna have self-esteem issues. I don't know anything that could possibly change that. Um, but all this stuff does help me, especially when I start doubting myself and especially when there's stuff going on in my personal and professional life. I think that's part of the reason why I feel so much better doing these super chats because I'm like, the voices start coming in. It's like, Hank, you're not. I almost cussed right there. I mean, it's almost like encouraging to cuss because it's for a good cause, but it's like you're not good enough. You don't know shit. I add that to the list. 75 now. Um, like, what are you doing out here? What is that fallacy? Uh, imposter syndrome. You're an imposter out here in this mask. You don't know what you're talking about with all this PE stuff. And and then you guys are like, nah, bro, like ain't got F with you, man. You're odd, but you're cool. You're a nice guy. so So anyways, yeah, I appreciate you guys, and so yeah, man. So thank you. Um, let's see. Bindle asked a great question. Where is Bindle's question? I don't see Bindle's question, man. And my PayPal is like hinkmccrink@gmail.com. If you do just wanna, just support your boy that way, I'm not gonna turn down free money. I mean, probably just end up donating it on the, next Swear Jar Sunday. Um, Steven Taylor says, "I guess not if you ignored my question. I was always on the lives, but didn't chat it before." Uh, I'm not sure what that's in reference to, man, but, anyways, man, so Bravo says there's a way to get your supplements in Ontario, Canada. I think only one is available on Amazon. Not right now, man. Canada, I'm surprised that there's one. Canada has some insane regulations when it comes to supplements. I won't say it's insane. I mean, they just care about like their people and don't want people selling snake oil or like potentially harmful things. But there's a lot of red tape. There's some major hurdles that I have to go through right now with businesses, but I am hoping that in the near future, um, I would say by the end, it's 2025. By the end of 2026, I'm hoping that we will be able to ship worldwide, and I'm actively working on solutions for that. Um, but in the meantime, guys, I want you guys to be safe. And so, like, if you're like, man, I really want vigor, but I can't get it because like of the safety benefits, then certainly I don't take any offense for you like looking at the ingredients and trying to buy the next best thing, man. Because I do want you guys just to be safe out there. So um Hedgehog says, Hank, been following you for a month or so. Your channel makes absolute sense. Thank you. It feels like a real world interaction when I watch the live. Man, I really appreciate that, bro. I think I got a super chat I got to check out. I haven't forgot about that. Uh, but yeah, man, thank you. Like that's like I only know how to be real, guys, and I only know how to be genuine. And I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes I sometimes actually being too kind can be a weakness, and there's lessons that I'm learning, but it's always like, and I've talked about this before. Would I rather be kind and then have something bad happen potentially as a result of my kindness, or be not kind? I'd rather be kind, and if I get effed over, I like to believe that I'm still doing the right thing. So, um, anyways, so thank you, man. So, Jlex says, "Do you wear the mask to hide your identity just like Spider-Man, or is that just part of your persona?" It's become part of the persona now, man. Truth is, I was in a research lab when I was in college and researching different, actually, cancer related things. And we had a Bunsen burner that was neglected by one of our lab assistants, and the Bunsen burner actually exploded. And so on this side of my face, I have like a lot of actually shards of glass that scars. They almost look like acne scars. And so I'm very insecure about that. And so, um, that's why I wear the mask to hide the scars. You wanna know how I got these scars? And so, I'm fucking with you. Dang, I just said the F-bomb. But no, I'm effing with you, man. But I do so, like, if you guys ever see me in the comments, people will ask, like, "Why do you wear the mask?" And I do like to try to come up with different, um like, random explanations, kinda like the Joker in that movie, like, when he's like, "You wanna know how I got these scars?" And it's always, like, a random story, so, but it's really become a persona, man, and it is and this is like, it's I won't say it's sad to say, but this is basically like a recognizable feature now. So, da 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 da. So Cruisin' says, "Hank, do you have Instagram?" I do, should maybe be in the link of this video. If it's not in the link of this video, if you guys look in the link of any of my long form videos, Um, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Um, but if you really wanna interact interpersonally with me, it's through YouTube primarily. So woo! So, I'm honored that you guys, like, trust me with these types of questions, but, like, when it's true, like, things that have a bearing on your overall health and function, like, I don't want you to just listen to anything that I say because for all you know, I'm literally some rando guy that just uses ChatGPT to synthesize all these answers that I'm spewing to you guys that sound like they kind of make sense. Um, but the question is, very recently had a large kidney stone removed and doctor installed a stent. Would you advise pumping or not? I would advise you talk to your urologist that removed the kidney stone like, on a physiologic level, okay? So, in order for this to potential like, the pressure would have to go, like, from your penile urethra, up through your prosthetic urethra, up into your bladder, up your ureters, and then into your kidney. Like, the pressure's not gonna go that far. I mean, I can't think of a way that pumping would affect that. That being said, like, if you've had past kidney stones before and maybe you've damaged your urethra, like, passing a big kidney stone could like, that could have bearing on pumping, like, maybe your, like, penile urethra, meaning your pee hole, guys, that carries the urine out of your penis, that could be very sensitive or even what we call friable, where maybe low amounts of pressure could cause it to rupture. So, yeah. So, uh, so yeah, man, like I cannot in good faith say that yes, pumping is safe for you to do that. But that being said, it's hard for me to think of a way that it would be damaging to do that. If that makes sense. Um, so but guys, LARPer guys, I'm just gonna get a sweatshirt that says LARPer. Um, but it's funny, like the ironic thing is, nope, don't. Nah. Max said, "Try to send as a super chat, but YouTube won't let me." I don't know, maybe I did something to tick off the YouTube gods already. I don't know, but somebody just sent another super chat, so I don't know, man. So Intimacy Nutrition Doc says, "If Canada really cared about their people, they would provide a discount on all your supplements for all their." Yeah, you're right, for all adults. You're right, Intimacy Nutrition Doc. Guys, I'm gonna start a what is it? What is a petition website? Anyways, I'm gonna start one of those, um, to make Canada pay for all my supplements so you Canadians can get it free. So, and Red Maroon said, "Not the hero origin story." Bro, it's not a hero origin story, it's definitely a villain origin story. Uh, so Max says, "Can you read my chat, kind sir? Couldn't super chat it for some reason. Where is your super chat, Mac?" Tried to send as a super chat. I don't know. Mac, I think your whatever you're saying in your super chat is triggering YouTube to take it down. And so I don't even see like what message you're sending. And so what I would say is that like if instead of saying like penis, type like P3N1S or something like that, or instead of saying like jerking it, like, type fap or something, and I'll try to look for it, but I think YouTube is restricting for some sort of infringement, but I don't even see I recognize your, username, but I don't see it on here, so try, Bernard says, "Crash out, Hink." A5 says, "Do it, do it." Like the true Sith Lord Emperor right there. Do it, Hink." Let the hate flow through you. Oh my gosh, man. I will tell you though, man, like Star Wars, you can say what you want about it, but it has some very good life lessons. Back when it was just like there was actually good versus evil and not like, well, the Siths are really just misunderstood because what is good or evil anyways? Like, nah, bro. Back, so, la, 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 la. So no, I don't wanna crash out, man, but, man, sometimes I do, man. Some Yep, still looking for you for your chat, Mac. Appreciate it, man. Intimacy nutrition docs. I think I'm helping a guy with bad urethral structures with nutritional supplements with good results. That's awesome, man. That's wonderful, wonderful. Hey, Caleb in the Heezy He, man. So we get the A vibes that did he crash out yet? Nah, bro. I'm not. So ignore if PE only live, but Joker or Bane, who hits harder? Dude, bro. Like I like Bane. One of my favorite settings in I don't think we announced this as a PE only live, so sorry guys, but, one of my favorite segments of any movie in recent memory history that to me hits harder than, like, all of the Joker's scene not all of them, but most of them, is Daggett is, like, the little short guy that paid all the money to Bane, and he's like, "Bane, I paid you a small fortune," and, like, yelling at him and getting all in his face, and, you know, he comes up to Bane, he's, like, still yelling, he's like, "I paid you a fortune," and Bane simply puts his hand right on his shoulder like that and says, "And this gives you power over me?" Um, I love that. I love that. I mean, it's not fair, but as a large male, like, I tower over almost anybody, like, I just do, and so when, like, I see these little, or not little, but people that are especially significantly shorter than me that, like, get all hyping in my face, and I just can't and that gives you power over me? So anyways, great question, Ding. Um, back to the PP questions, man. Uh, so I know this might be a crazy thought idea, but what about applying something like preparation H to the D to reduce edema? Some people apply it to their face to reduce the under eye bags. That's an interesting question. Um, let's see. Preparation H ingredients. Mm, Prep H. Let's see here. The reason why I'm looking this up because it might just be ingredients. Because there might be one specifically Preparation H. So it's the phenylephrine. Okay. So phenylephrine is a vasoconstrictor. And what that does is it shrinks swollen hemorrhoidal tissue. And so that is I knew there was hydrocortisone, which is a corticosteroid anti inflammatory, and lidocaine, which numbs. But yeah, so you have the phenylephrine. That is the vasoconstrictor. So you could just apply phenylephrine if you don't want to put preparation H on your face, which also, I mean, that's wild to me just because all those ingredients, it kind of has a like a potent vapor associated with it. Um, Now, the problem with that is, the it's not necessarily that the vascular dilation that is causing edema, and so, like, if you put a bunch of preparation H on your D, I think that some of the most superficial blood vessels might constrict a little bit, but it doesn't negate the fact that you have a lot of negative pressure from pumping that is, um forcing the fluid in there. The correct term is no longer interstitial fluid. They've gotten away from that, but basically the third spacing of the fluid, so the fluid that accumulates between the skin and basically the tunica from the negative pressure getting drawn, like drawing out the interstitial fluid. So no, that's a very interesting thing, but I don't think that that would work, Mike. But great question. So right now, we'll go ahead and end the poll. So I'm glad that my bros are with me. We got 125 votes, but a bubble butt takes the win. A bubble butt takes the win. So now you guys know. Um, woo. So Socre Blue. Appreciate the super chat, bro. He says 29 years old, 6'5", 375 pounds, starting PE soon, but also getting on Manjaro, Ozempic, and TRT for general male health. So I hope in a year I'll see good changes, man. So that is first of all, I mean, I'm proud of you, and I don't care what anybody says for recognizing that there's a problem and recognizing that you need to make a change. Because especially in today's culture, it's like, oh, hey, you go girl with your, obesity, like why should you have to change? Why should airlines have to accommodate? I mean, the airline should accommodate you even if you take up two seats. But once again, I'm not going to get all pilled, whatever pill that is. But the so the thing about Mounjaro, Ozempic, any of these drugs is that if you look at the studies, a lot of the people will have the rebound weight. And so when you are doing this, just make sure that you are um, making changes to your general health. Because if you don't change your patterns of behavior, so for example, if you lose a bunch of weight in Ozempic, but instead of eating an entire large pepperoni pizza, the Ozempic makes you full after one slice, like you are going to gain the weight back. And so you need to make sure you incorporate exercise and you actually incorporate healthy eating habits. Um, but that's awesome, man. And I think that especially once you start to see the weight coming off, that's why like I'm not anti Ozempic, just because in my experience, I've seen that people that go on like Ozempic, they start losing the weight and it's like, wow, the scale is finally moving. Or like, wow, I'm 5 pounds down and I feel so much better. I have so much energy. Like I can actually move better. I'm sleeping better. And it kind of starts this positive cycle where they're like, man, um, yeah, this is now I see the benefit of losing weight. And so I hope that's the case with you. TRT, man, just I mean, obviously, you're talking to a doctor about this, but, when you go on TRT at 29 years old, like, your hormones might just be out of whack because you're obese, and it's forcing your estrogen levels up. But there's things that you can do, naturally to increase your testosterone, and, one of those is gonna be losing weight. Also, like, resistance training, better sleep, better diet, and so and of course, like shameless plug, guys. Of course, Vitality, guys. It's a testosterone boosting supplement, and there's real science behind like the ingredients in there that boost your testosterone. So you just want to be careful because TRT, that's steroids, man. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But oftentimes it's for life, depending on how long you go on TRT, because your natural testosterone production shuts down. So yeah, man. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more super chats. Mac, I still haven't seen your super chat, bro. And so I'm certainly not trying to ignore it. Uh, Shawn Michaels says thoughts on Clomid. So I'll tell you my thoughts on Clomid. So there is a paper, and it is entitled "Testicular Germ Cell Tumors After Clomiphene Therapy for Subfertility." Okay, and what that showed is that in 650 participants on this study, there was, unilateral testicular neoplasm, meaning cancer that developed I'll put it in here. So, blah. And so I put it into the chat showing that, the rate of testicular cancer is high. Now, subfertile men, is this because maybe they at some point had no, I think they actually explored that. So guys, if you had like a trapped testicle up in your stomach and it gets removed surgically and like I forgot the name of the fancy name for it, but they have to have surgery to pull it down, you're at an increased risk of testicular cancer for that alone. So I can't remember if they looked at other kind of what we call co-founders to show whether or not like it was something else that's related to the lower fertility, which needed these guys to be on clomiphene therapy or the clomiphene therapy itself. But I also read on Reddit a guy that was because I think all of this stuff is actually very interesting. Um, that there was a guy that was on, he was on N-clomiphene, but he developed testicular cancer, and it could have just been that, whatever the rate is for testicular cancer, I don't know it offhand, but the point is that there is, it's something to be aware of. So yeah, it's in recent messages. Uh, I don't know. if one of my mods in here can look for the message from Mac, and just enter it again, and I will look for it because I am not good at looking at this stuff, and, yeah, Stufer says, "Hey, nutting on Elm Street, team tummy pancakes." Wild. Uh, KB Reef, appreciate you, man. I'm gonna be signing off soon, guys. My voice is starting to go. Um So Sean says, "Oh my god, my doc has me on Clomid. I want off now." So, bro, like, you can't. Red Maroon says, "I'm not seeing anything regarding the message, Mac." So I don't know what's going on, Mac, but I don't think we're seeing it, homie. Um, but like, first of all, I'm a clown in a mask. The paper that I sent was published in 1985. I don't know of additional evidence, or newer evidence that says that there is a risk of testicular cancer, but it has me like, because guys, I'm an aging man and I know my test is lower. And when I'm stressed, which you guys have seen for many different reasons over the past 3 months, I've been stressed out of my mind. Yes, cryptorchidism. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Thank you. That's where the term for an undescended testicle. Thank you. Um, but um, but yeah, and my test levels drop off, and like I want to feel like I'm 18 again, and I could have poor sleep and be stressed out of my mind, and still have a raging libido and muscle mass and all these things. Anyways, so antics semantics says, Hink, you said you're 6'5". I think I'm a legit 7 inches. I thought fat and taller guys have major meat. Nah, bro. There is a there is a I won't say it's a stereotype. If you look, so fat guys have smaller penises. Period. That's objective medical fact. I'm not fat shaming, but there's even a paper that shows that like childhood obesity is related to smaller penises. I've made a video about it before. That's objective, guys. Medical science. Okay, I'm not going to be here for any kind of, well, I'm fat and I don't have a small penis. Like, who knows? Maybe it would be bigger otherwise. Um, and not just that. The when you're fatter, you have a bigger fat pad. It's going to look smaller. So no, I don't think that being that fat guys are known to have major meat. I think that that is something perpetuated in like media. Tall guys as well. Now, tall guys see Mac. I see your message there. It is what it is because like you're my number one supporter on here today, I guess, with the super chats. Um, but tall guys do there is a loose correlation between tall guys having larger flaccid and erect penises, okay? It's not guaranteed, but yes, there is a correlation that the taller you are, the taller your, like, the bigger your flaccid PP. So, Adrian says, "Hunk, when will your Vigor arrive to Mexico?" Appreciate the super chat, man. I'm hoping by the end of 2026, I'm hoping so. So stay tuned, man. Uh How much pumping should we do daily for girth? I mean, it depends on what you can tolerate. But yeah, in general, like if you had to ask me, I think 20 to 30 minutes is ideal per day. And Socrates says, "I'm 6'5" and fat, and I'm Acorn Gang, so it didn't balance out. Ha ha ha." Yeah, bro. Like I'm 6'5", and certainly like my flaccid PP, but even my erect PP at one point was even into my adult life was not that big proportionally. So yeah, man. Acorn Gang, gang, gang. So yeah, guys, this is gonna do it. I'm fading fast. I think I got all the super chats, but I hope you guys know that I mean it sincerely when I say I really appreciate all the support that you've given me, and it means the world, especially um, when I can't talk about what's going on right now. But there's some major stuff going on, and it's unfortunate, but it really does help me out a lot when you guys show me the support that you have and the love that you have, and so I just want you guys to know I don't take it for granted, and I really appreciate it. And so yeah, man. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys sincerely. As always, I wish you guys um, I hope you guys just be the best version of yourself, whatever that may be. And even when, life happens, people try to fuck with you, whatever it is, just try to maintain your integrity and just, and be good people. I'll just leave it at that. And let me know, guys, in the comments, where you want me to donate the money. I think let's just call it, I'll just say $150 worth. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I know it, let's call it 100 bucks. 100 bucks, and I'll donate it to the charity of you guys' choice. So whatever you want, just let me know. Let me know in the chat. All right, guys. I love you guys. Peace and love.